Hi there. I'm here to talk to you about pantheism and why I've chosen it as my religion. Pantheism being a religion in which nature is God. So I'll be talking about what pantheism is, what pantheism is not, how it fits into the other religions in human history, and why it's the best religion for people now in the 21st century in regards to truth and science, environmental awareness and protection, a sense of belonging and peace. Pantheism is the belief that nature and the cosmos and the universe is what God is. It is a root religion, which means that every religion starts there. If you can imagine primitive man just barely getting a sense of what's going on and being able to communicate, would just start with God being this beautiful, miraculous, mysterious, living being that we have to be in harmony within to survive. For as long as we've started telling stories, and that's one way that we are able to communicate important information to each generation, we've had some form of religion or like a tribal origin story. So if you take pantheism and you add a story on top of it, we can call that story a mythology. And that's when you start to get these other religions in human society having these mythologies. Every religion has mythology. So whichever religion you may be, or if you're not in a religion, you can see that every religion in human history has mythology. Pantheism shies away from mythology. It may include, there are pantheistic religions that have mythology in them, but they see them as mythology. And you can think of that in the same terms as we understand the concept mythology of Santa Claus, and Uncle Sam is a mythology, kind of like our government is this person called Uncle Sam. And there's lots of other examples like Zeus, of course, and Orion. You look up in the sky. And that's mythology, and we know it's a mythology. We know it's a story that helps us understand concepts and has been important throughout history. So that's one way how it relates to these other religions in history. Is like a lot of religions, you can trace it back, and some religions haven't strayed. A lot of them stray from pantheism, but some of them stay close enough that they can continue to be called pantheism. Buddhism and Taoism are great examples of that, and paganism. They are pantheistic religions because they don't stray too far away from this concept that this is it. This is the divine being that we should be worshiping on this planet if we wish to survive. So pantheism doesn't have the same lineages as other religions because it's a root religion. So as soon as you start adding stuff to it, it becomes another thing. So there's this idea of like New Age pantheism, which is just bringing these core beliefs in together and just saying, okay, so what can we say for certain? What is the strongest position to be in? I feel an emotional and spiritual connection with the earth and with nature and with this divine force. And I don't want to deny that. So pantheism brings into that. Most people come to pantheism because whatever religion their culture has been presented to them, they are an intelligent person, they see that the religion has a mythology in it, and then they don't want to be fooled by that mythology, and they shy away from it. But they may still feel the sense of connection and spirituality and want to have spiritual experiences. Once you reject a religion or the religion of your culture, you usually land in atheist and agnostic area. It's kind of like, well, clearly those religions are mythologies. All of them. And any religion that can't see its own mythology is a problem for that person, because they are under a certain level of delusion, even if some might argue that some delusions are better than other delusions, and some delusions make you do good on accident. But intelligent people don't like that. We need to just let that go, and as we get into the 21st century, we are having a global understanding, and we need people to guide us in these directions that don't have these delusionary flaws in them. Pantheism is complicated. It's one reason why you don't hear a lot of people talking about it. It's a complicated word. It has many other words that are very similar to it, and there was even a period of time where the Oxford Dictionary had the word pantheism wrong. So it's had a troubled history because it hasn't been able to stand out as strong as a lot of these other self-righteous religions that wipe out populations of people who don't believe what they believe. So it's understanding that people could get pantheism, which is the belief that nature is God and the universe and God are one and the same. They could see that being mixed up with polytheism, which is like there's lots of gods. And there's a term that's very similar called Panentheism. Unfortunately, it's so similar. It sounds almost the same, but that's a similar concept. But now God transcends the universe and stands outside of the universe and becomes a personal connection with humans. That might sound familiar to you because there are quite a few religions that are panentheist. There are Christians who are panentheists. They think that the teachings of the Bible are teachings that God is nature and transcends nature and then comes back and meets with humans and has a personal connection and creates some stories and mythologies from there. That's panentheism. Pantheism does not accept that God has stepped outside of the creation. No, God is this. This is what we know. So God doesn't... Pantheism doesn't make any assertions that we don't know. It's a religion that talks about here and now. It says this space that we're in, this earth that we all share, is so amazingly beautiful. It is worthy of our reverence, our protection, our communion, our connection. So if you study pantheism in its core, you do get this deep sense of peace and belonging. And that's something that's really pulled me into it and made me feel that this is my religion. And this is a religion that would be very helpful if people in the 21st century, now, here and today, now that we have the internet, we understand what mythologies are, we understand how destructive delusionary thinking can be in hating other groups or following a leader who says something, a spiritual leader who might have political agenda, very relevant to the past 4 years when I shot this video. For all those reasons, I'm sharing how great pantheism is as a stable religion.